Menteri Rangba ka Jala Meghalaya konot konkal sangma Shibanta na ka Jubab jong uya ka Jingkynnoh kelum Halor ka mangtingka arja arpusan arja arpun rio ha ka sngi banyo ka dorbar mangtingka jong ka yeng dorbar thau an ukam banjur Halor ka pisa tingka hadin ka jing sokhia ki dekhot ka yeng khamtam na ka liang persa Halor ki ram ki ba ka sarkar ka Shim bat ki lat ki lenti kumno ban siu pat yaki Menteri Rangba ulong baka projected gross state domestic product GSDP house nam mangtingka arja arpupra kan poisha ka prapsan hajar nyospa prapo nyoklur ka bomot $10 billion but benrap baka total expenditure kan thop ka capital expenditure na ka banta ki kampanroy ka yok akot but ka yok kam yok jam kala kieu shaka arpo khandai hajar arpusan klur house nam ar hajar pun rio Ulah kedau baka total receipt bakan top ka jingshim kaliang ki scheme sarkar India bat ki jingmi na ka jella ka poisha ka arpu khandai hajar sauspa laipu praklor house nam arja arpun rio ulah Pynshai baka borrowing percent na ka total receipts arja arpu lai ka jella Meghalaya ka long khat percent ka bakham hapo banya ka national average ka balong khat khandai percent but haba Kenya ka jingmi nala ka jella ka poi refu khandai percent but jan kot but ka national average ka balong nyopuwei percent Menteri Rangba ka jella ula Pynshai ru Halor ka SASCI management haka baka long arhajar sauspa sanpau klur house nam arhajar arpusan but ka net present value hadin sanpau nam kata house nam arhajar nyopusan kan long prapulai klur ka consolidated sinking fund contribution ka long kat ar klur shisnam ka balong 0.1% manusnam but san hajar shispa sanfusan klur haki sanpau nam Daka bakdo baka externally aided project management haki nyos nam bala dap kalong nyo hajar sauspa arpo nyo klur but ka effective EAP bansiu kalong nyos pa saupu ar klur ulaong makini boro artli kilong kum ki grant ulaong baka sarkar jala ka shimram kat kum upur balasya but kam dan jingma ai but benrap baka jingekran skokhia ki dkhot neki pajba ka jala ka dai banja no Shwaban penkot ya ka jing Jubab Menteri Rangba ula penbana khat South Lake scheme kum ka CM scholarship scheme CM Assure Focus Plus CM Skills Mission CM Urban Revitalization Scheme CM Football Mission Green Meghalaya Plus Meghalaya State Aquaculture Mission 3.0 Meghalaya Sports Action Plan Homestay, CM Elevate, Entrepreneurship and Skilling, Prime Startup Grants, but Meghalaya Outstanding Sportsperson Direct Appointment Policy.
So this is an old slide. Everybody has seen this. This is just again to give a flavor of how our GSDP is growing. And if you look at the numbers, again, this is not just to compare past governments with new governments. Nobody should take it otherwise. So these are facts to show that how things are moving forward. So if you look at financial year 14 to financial year 18, we had roughly an economic growth of 6.5% in the GSDP trajectory. If you look at the section between financial year 19 to financial year 23, or at least 22, we had, 24, we had about 10.5%. There was growth, and as you're aware, sir, COVID hit us. But if you look at financial year 22 to the projected financial year 26, that is the extreme right, you can see, sir, that the projected growth is almost, is crossing 13.5%. And that is a growth rate, sir, that is going to take us to the 85,000 crore economy, which I've mentioned below, sir. And as I said, this is just a number, but how we will make this happen for each sector, I have presented to you in a glimpse for some of the sectors. Next. So this is again an important slide. And if you look at the growth, again, these are numbers which are factual numbers. And if you can see the expenditure that we have done. Now, if you look at all the expenditures that are there, the capital expenditures you can see, sir, is the bright green bars. And you can see the way the capital expenditure has gone up. Of course, revenue expenditure also has gone up, and that's part of the process. But what is important as a government and as members to notice that our growth in our capital expenditure has been much higher than the revenue expenditure. If you look at the table on the right, you can see, sir, the revenue expenditure in the 18 to 26 had grown by 10.4%, whereas the capital expenditure during that period had grown by 23.8%. So there's a clear indication that there's a huge amount that is being put into capital expenditure. Next. So this is again a very important slide, and I think this we should spend some time on focusing on this, sir. Sir, if you can look at this slide. Now, you can again see that the bright green section is the state's resources. The dark green section is the central schemes, and the borrowings is the orange color, sir. So now, let me explain what state resources are, and I've got another slide later on to explain in detail what it is. But sir, there is a misconception that is always prevailing amongst all of us as members and even general public, that the share of central taxes is not, our money. It's a share that the central government gives. So, but what is important to note is that this is a constitutional provision and mandated by the Constitution for the central government to devolve these taxes and give it to Meghalaya and to the other states. And that is what the Finance Commission does. So to say that this is central government's money is going against the entire spirit of the Constitution, where this tax, the direct tax, which is the corporate and the income tax collected, is devolved and given to the states based on a formula that has come out by the Finance Commission. And that is the share of central taxes, but that is our money. It's not that center is doing a favor by giving this money to us. It is rightfully ours. So technically, sir, that is what is our own state resources. And I would like to stress here, sir, that this is based on a formula. And this formula have got horizontal, devolution. It's got vertical devolution. Many technical aspects I don't want to go into. Many factors from forest cover to the population to the areas to even the different aspects of economic survey of fertility rate, so and so forth. There are many factors that are there that go into the calculation. And in the last the 15th Finance Commission, when Mr. N.K. Singh was the chairman, sir, I remember that we had discussed with Mr. N.K. Singh and urged that the hill states require a different kind of attention compared to the other states. And based on a lot of discussion with him and with the other chief ministers of hill states, we were able to have a conference of the hill states and the Finance Commission in Himachal Pradesh and in Uttarakhand. And when we had this meeting there, that time the chairman of the Finance Commission had come, and we gave detailed presentation on why the hill states require an additional funding. And that is when the aspect of population was brought in, and Mr. N.K. Singh had brought in an aspect that the population may be less, but if it is below 1%, then they should be given at 1%. So if your population factor is at, say, 0.3%, you'll be given at 1%. A small decision like that, after we had persuaded and spoken to him, led to an increase of 0.13% in terms of the share that the taxes that Meghalaya got from the center. And that amount, sir, led to an increase of almost 200 crores per month in terms of central taxes for us. My point being, sir, is that there is a huge exercise that goes into ensuring that we are able to get these resources. Now, coming to the crux of the matter, if you look at just look at the last column, sir, and if you can just zoom in. If you just look at the last column, sir, to give a rest to the continuous issue that people have, that why are we taking so much loans? Who's going to pay back these loans? Sir, look at these numbers, and let me put this entire issue of loans to rest. And hopefully this will not become an issue anymore. Out of the 29,438 crores, 3,800 crores is the loan factor. The rest is all our central schemes or the state's own resources, which includes the share of central taxes and our own taxes. So, sir, this column clearly reflects that we are not funding our entire development on loan. In fact, it is only a small amount. It is 10% of the total amount, which is very much within the permissible rate. So these are actual figures. I'm not making this up. So this is what is very important for everybody to remember that, less than actually 4%, about 11 to 12% is from the borrowed amount, which is again as per the norms that have been laid by the different agencies, including Government of India, Finance Department, and the Reserve Bank of India. Next again. So this again is to show the breakup of what our state resources are. And again, as I mentioned to you, so if you look at the pie, the state's own taxes, the share of central taxes, the Finance Commission grants, the revenue gap grant, the state's own resources, and other resources that are there, receipts. This makes up the total amount of close to 18,977 crores of the funds that are spent by us on revenue expenditure and on capital expenditure. So clearly, sir, this chart, I guess, is clear to everybody that our development and our expenditure is not funded by loan. It is funded by our own tax resources, share of central taxes. 10,910 crores is the share of central taxes, which is our money, which is constitutionally due to us, based on constitutional provisions and based on the devolution made by the Finance Commission. Next. Sir, again a number just to show everybody about the entire concerns of borrowing. And if you look at the national average, sir, in terms of borrowings versus total receipts, the national average is at 19%. That means the borrowings is on top and the total receipts is at the bottom. So the lower the percentage, obviously the better off, the lesser the loan you take. So if you look at the national average, sir, it is 19%. So states like Assam and other states are at 19% of the total borrowings over the receipts. And we are well below that number at 12%, sir. So this is just to give an example to you that we are not dependent on our receipts on borrowings. Our receipts are made up of our own state resources maximum, sir. So again, next. This again, sir, is a similar slide to show the state's resources over the receipts. Again, it's the same numbers, but we're just giving you the percentage. That today, 69% of our own state resources to the total receipts, 69% is from the state's own share, sir. So this is how the numbers are. We are very much at a acceptable number. Next one, sir. Again, this is central resources versus total capital receipts. Again, sir, this is shows the total central resources in terms of centrally sponsored schemes and other schemes, and shows that how much of that compared to the total receipts are there. And obviously the northeastern states and hill states are normally on the higher side, sir, because our share is 90 to 10. So we get 90% and other states get 50-50. So therefore, since the funding is 90-10, so the numbers are higher, which is a good thing. We get more money, sir, from the center. Then again, sir, next slide is again a small example of how all these receipts that we have received. So, sir, if I go back, just go back one slide. One more. Up, 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 up. One more. So again, sir, if you look at this slide, I want to reiterate. The growth story of Meghalaya has been powered not by borrowings, but by the increase in our own state resources. That is the key, sir. And this entire misconception that our growth story is being driven by loan and that it is the people of the state who will have to pay back the loan, sir, is completely wrong. And I want to clear this misconception by reiterating on this particular slide, which is clearly showing that the state's own resources, the dark green part, the bright green part, that is what is empowering our growth. And if you can see how that number has grown, I've explained to the House why that number has grown. We talked to the Finance Commission. We were able to speak to them and get the devolution higher. We were able to get the area of the population to be factored in by ensuring that we got the 1% weighted average. And that is how this number has gone up. And this now, can come down? Now, yeah. This is what, up, yeah. And this is what has driven the entire growth story. And this is what you're seeing, sir. Because of the increase in our own state's resources, today power sector, where we used to spend 213 crores in 2018, today we are spending 1,518 crores. If you look at the urban department, where you used to be spending 93 crores, today we are spending 1,373 crores. I'm not giving all the departments, sir, because we don't have space. Roads and bridges, where we are spending 1,108 crores. Today we are spending 2,596. Every sector in terms of the capital investment, the amounts have gone up in the expenditure based on the increase in the capital investment, based on the resources of the state that have gone up. Next. So this again, a very interesting slide, and I would like to stress on this because this is where a lot of our members have been concerned, and rightly, sir, I must say. So the red line is what the CAG has been projecting our fiscal deficit at. And if you can see the red line, of course, during 21, just zoom in. During 21, because of COVID, is come down so they can see the graph on top. Yeah, up. Yeah. You can just put the year also. So I'd like to see the year, the bottom. Just down. Just slide it up. Yeah, a bit more. A bit more. Yeah. So if you can see financial year 21, it was 7.7%, and the government of India had allowed us to do that. Now, in the 2022 and 23 are the parts where, and 24 are the parts where the honorable members have raised concerns, and CAG also has mentioned it now. So what we have been maintaining, that if you were to remove the SASCI, the Special Assistance to States on Capital Investment, if you remove that 50-year interest-free loan that Government of India gives, our fiscal deficit is the yellow line that we have. So if you look at 2023, our fiscal deficit is at 3.8%, not 6.0%. And in 2024 is at 3.5%, and in 2025, 2.6%. And I'll come to SASCI on why this should be, why we don't put SASCI in the calculation for fiscal deficit. And sir, just to share that we have already written to the Ministry of Finance and to the AG, asking them that SASCI should not be included. The money that we get from this interest-free, 50-year interest-free loan should not be included in the fiscal deficit calculation. And that is one clarification I want to make, and the next slide will make things very, very clear for everyone. So it is at 6.0% as per CAG report, because no direction has been given to them by Ministry of Finance to not include SASCI, and they included SASCI in the calculation of debt, whereas it actually should not have been. An Honorable Finance Minister has assured me that she will be speaking to the AG and informing them that this calculation of SASCI should not be included in the loan that is taken by the state government. So next slide will show you what I mean. Can we zoom into the left table? Yeah. Just shrink it a bit. Yeah, put it up. Put it up a bit. Yeah, perfect. Sir, the SASCI is a very special scheme that is given by Government of India. This is a 50-year interest-free loan that is given to our state and to all the states. So this is more meaningful for small states like us, where we have got very limited sources, not like large states like Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. And therefore, Government of India, keeping that in mind, focusing on capital investment only, came out with this program called Special Assistance to States on Capital Investment, SASCI. Now, sir, this year, Meghalaya will be taking 2,450 crores under SASCI. This is the highest that we have ever taken, and it's actually based on the efficiency of every state government and based on the utilization that you do, that Government of India further sanctions. Now, to give a small understanding of what this means for us. Sir, in finance, there's a concept called discounted cash flow. Discounted cash flow. And a concept called net present value, NPV. In basic simple terms, what NPV means is that what is the value, what is the net present value of 1,000 crores 10 years from now? What is the value of that today? That's what net present value is, NPV. And we do it in order to calculate the value of a company. So normally, say for example, if you show your revenues, that every year my revenue is going to increase. So it's 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores, 3,000 crores. But at 3,000 crores 3 years from now is not 3,000 crores today. It's much lesser. So in order to be able to get the present value of that 3,000 crores, which is 3 years from now, there's a formula. So they put interest rate, and then they put a addition part to it, then they discount it, and then bring it down to the value. So that's in a nutshell what NPV means, the net present value. So we calculated the net present value of 2,450 crores from today. That means, because this 2,450 crores is something I have to pay back at 50 years, I have to pay back in 2075. So if I have to pay back 2,450 crores in 2075, what is the value of that 2,450 today, when we paid back in 2075? And so the net present value of the 2,450 is 83 crores as of today. That means we are only spending 83 crores compared to the 2,450, which is going to be paid back because there's no interest, sir, in this. Please remember, we have to only pay back the principal amount. So the net present value of 2,450 crores, which we will be paying back after 50 years, the value of that today is 83 crores. These are based on finance terms, sir, and numbers and the interest rates and all these put together. So that's number one. So therefore, this is actually not a real loan. It's not like a market loan which requires me to pay interest and pay back the loan in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years time. No, sir. Nobody is going to ask us questions till 50 years from now. And therefore, if you create the value of that today, it's 83 crores. That is the beauty of this particular scheme. The second beauty of this scheme, sir, is that there is a provision called the Consolidated Sinking Fund. I had mentioned this to you last time also in the House. Based on this, sir, we have to put 0.5% of the different loan components into this Consolidated Sinking Fund. Now look at the beauty of this, sir. For this particular 50-year loan, whose net present value is 83 crores, we have to put 12 crores in the Consolidated Fund every year for the next 50 years. And that 12 years will continue to give us interest. And you know, sir, what the value of that deposit that we make from now on for the next 50 years is going to be? At 2075, is going to be 5,155 crores. Which means when we have to repay for 2,450 crores, we will actually have 5,155 crores, double of what we have to pay, because of the fact that interest is not applicable. So this is how finance and hedging works. This is how terms and conditions of finance department are created to ensure that no state goes into any kind of a debt trap. And we have to follow these principles. And it's based on these principles, sir, that we are taking the loans. But as correctly mentioned by our honorable member from Umsning, that we have to take it in a calculated manner. There has to be provisions. There has to be ways and means in which we'll be able to repay those debts back. And as I mentioned, sir, this may be one of the best ways to fund our capital investment projects. Because though we are taking 2,450 crores today, which has to be prepaid after 50 years without interest, that amount is only valued at 83 crores right now. So therefore, sir, this is a beautiful way to fund, and Meghalaya is one of the most efficient, I should say, states in this aspect. And as I said, based on the Consolidated Sinking Fund amount we are putting in, there will be sufficient amount for the then government to be able to repay back only the principal amount after 50 years. That is the reason why we argued with Finance Ministry and said this cannot be treated like a normal loan. It's not. It is a 50-year-old loan, and therefore they should not put this in the calculation of the fiscal deficit to the GSDP, and Honorable Finance Minister has agreed to it. Of course, it's a technical aspect and they are working on it. So let's hope that this will come through, and very soon we'll be able to come out with better clarifications from the central government side also. So similarly, sir, if you look at the externally aided projects, so I have been repeating this again, and I hope the SASCI now and the loan part, and now, as I said, EA part, will be able to put this to rest. The externally aided projects, again, sir, this is an amount which is not an amount that government of Meghalaya has to pay in full. As mentioned, sir, I will give the entire details because this is being explained to the House, that there is a component of 90-10. So the 10% is the state share and 90% is the loan component. I think that's clear, sir. So 10% state government has to give. So when we do the project, if it's a 100 crore project, 10 crores we have to spend. And 90 crores is the loan, so-called loan. Now, for this 90 crores, Government of India has a provision. Under this provision, Government of India has agreed that the 90% of the loan that is being taken, 80% of that 90% will be paid back by Government of India. So what that means, sir, if 10 crores we have to pay, so there's no question of loan, we have to pay, 90 crores is left. Out of this 90 crores, 80%, which means 72 of the whole project. 80 into 9, 8 9s are 72. 72% of the entire amount, Government of India is going to repay back, and the rest of 10% plus 18%, so 10% we have to anyway give, that 18% also is something that we have to pay in advance. So my points are being that these externally aided projects, out of the 100 rupees or 100 crores that we take, Government of Meghalaya has to pay 28% of it, and 72% is repaid back by Government of India. So there's no question of us taking any loan. Sir, just want to be very clear that EAPs and SASCI are almost like free money. So I'm not saying it's free, but it's almost like free money because it's not at the kind of a loan rate that we're saying. EAP, but SASCI, kumpisa, bayo, ay. EAP, but SASCI, kumpisa, bayo, ay. It is almost, I'm not saying it is a free loan, nothing is free, sir, in this world, but it is almost. Again, can you go, if you look at this slide, sir, you can clearly make out 2,450 crores today we're getting, which is to be repaid back after 50 years in 2075. Net present value of that money to be repaid back then at today is at 83 crores. So I think maths is very simple. I think, I'm sure the honorable members would say we should do it more. It is better than taking a market loan. It is better than going to the free market. So the free market and the market loan and the loans from banks that we had mentioned is that limit that we are putting. We are not crossing that limit. And we have got provisions to ensure that we are able to repay this by ensuring the consolidated fund provision is there. So, sir, we have tied down all aspects. And rest assured, the people of the state and the House should be aware that we are taking all provisions to ensure that Meghalaya will not fall into a debt trap. We will not put any risk to our future generation. It is our responsibility to ensure that we will take care of the finances, and that is why our maximum amount of expenditure we have done has come out of our own state resources, sir, not from loan. And this is something, sir, which is very, very important to clarify, and I hope I've been able to clarify this to the House. So next, of course, are very simple programs next. So these are some of the important schemes that we have, of course, announced. the first and the very important scheme, sir, which is there, is the scheme for the Chief Minister's Scholarship Scheme, sir. I don't want to go into the name aspect. I've got quite a bit of support to say that we should continue with CM scheme. Am I correct? Most of the House agrees, I hope? Yes. As correctly said, sir, this is not Conrad Moment scheme. Neither is it Charles Maranga scheme. This is the Chief Minister's scheme, and Chief Minister is the head of the government. And it is most appropriate that we move forward in that line. And that's how even central government, sir, works in that line. Having said that, sir, I want to narrate a small story. Story is very simple. I went for a dinner with my family. And my elder daughter, she's 13 years old. Her name is Amara. And she, while we were having food, she just looked at me, and from nowhere, she said, "Papa, you should give scholarship scheme to children." And I was like taken aback. I said, "Where is this coming from?" He said, "No, I think children are facing a lot of difficulty when it comes to scholarship. You should help them." And you believe it or not, sir, that was the beginning of the thought that let's do something. Though, of course, I explained to her and explained to so many people that there is a problem with scholarship that is coming from the central government. I'll take a minute to explain. And the reason, sir, because, and it's not just our state, the whole country faces. And I would like to address the students right now, and I hope you're listening, that these are scholarships that come from Government of India. When Government of India releases the amount, it is immediately given to you in your account. We don't stop it, or we don't do anything to not give it to you, because obviously we want you to get the scheme fast. But there is a sanction process issue in Government of India level, maybe between Tribal Affairs Ministry and Finance Ministry, where the funds don't come on time. And as the funds come and the sanction, they are transferred straight into the account of the beneficiary, which is the students. And through the year, Government of India sanctions these amounts in batches. So 20 crores, 30 crores, 40 crores. And based on that, some students get and some don't get. So I just wanted to clarify to our young students that it is not the state government that is stopping your scholarship. Funds are not coming in from center, because of which there is a delay in the scholarship. Have we pursued this? We have pursued this all the way to the top. And we are pushing Government of India, including Finance Ministry, to release these funds on time. I am hopeful that the next academic year, we should be able to figure out some way to streamline this. If Government of India, Finance Ministry, releases the schemes in one shot to all the students, this problem is solved. The second way for us to solve this problem is, which we do sometimes for other schemes, is for Meghalaya government to give in advance. And I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it, sir. Because students need it. And I understand the pressure they go through. And they deserve it, sir. It's not their fault. It's a problem in the central government, so they should not be delayed. So we are happy to pay it. The amount comes to about 160 crores a year. So we can organize those funds. The issue is that once we give to these students, and then after that Government of India sanctions it, when Government of India sanctions, the funds go straight into the student's account. Which means they will get from us in advance, and they will get this from Government of India also into their account. Now, if we tell the students, please pay us back, I don't think that's a very good thing to do. And I don't think they will agree. So we are also in a catch-22 situation, where we are not able to pay in advance also, whereas we would desire to, because as I said, we don't know then how to get back that money. And we are in talks with Government of India to find a way in which, if Government of India does not release it on time, can we as a state government give it in advance, and the funds can be sent to us. So I'm working on both the options, and I would like to share with the student community that I'm working tirelessly to ensure that this issue is resolved. But in the meantime, as has been suggested by so many people, I am happy to announce, I've announced in my budget, that the students who are pursuing their courses in post-matriculate students, in courses in post-matriculate, that we will be giving an amount of 6,000 rupees to 80,000 students every year. Similarly, sir, CM Assure is another very important program. Again, this is all based on feedback from our members, sir. Feedback from the people. I have maintained this all the time. So we are here to listen to the concerns of our people. We want to resolve it, sir. I'm not saying we can resolve everything. But I can assure you, our members, I think everybody who has spoken in this house have at least maintained one thing, even though they've said things that, sometimes this road is not done, that building is not done, which is natural, sir. But never have we not listened to our members. All members will agree that the Chief Minister's office, the Deputy CM's office, and all the Cabinet Minister's office is always open to discuss the issues and work towards resolving it if we are able to practically move forward and if it's financially feasible for us. So CM Assure again was a very important project. Focus and Focus Plus, we will be working towards easing the norms as has been suggested by Honorable Deputy CM, has suggested that we should ease the norms for Focus Plus so that more and more beneficiaries can be benefited. We have almost close to 200 crores budgeted for this, and we will move forward in a very positive way. Similarly, sir, the Chief Minister's Skill Mission, the Urban Revitalization Scheme, the Football Mission, the Green Meghalaya Plus Mission, the Meghalaya State Aquaculture Mission, the Meghalaya State Sports Action Plan, the homestays has been increased now from 35% to 45% subsidy. The CM Elevate has again been further increased to not 75, sir, but 50%. We've increased for business across sectors. And similarly, sir, many other programs like the Meghalaya Outstanding Sportsperson Direct Appointment Policy also has been approved and is part of this particular budget, sir. So all these schemes will further go a long way in supporting our youngsters as well as our farmers and our different women's self-help groups. Sir, through my reply, I have tried to give a larger sense. I apologize that I was not able to go into all the individual issues. As I said, I'm happy to do it, provided Speaker gives us dinner tonight. We can stay. I can go in through each of the policies, but I'm sure that you will appreciate that we have always responded on the issues, and I will continue to respond and try to work towards resolving your issues at your constituency level. Suggestions have been noted down by my planning department and my officials, and we will tell each of the departments concerned to resolve the issues. But I think at the end, I have tried to explain, as I said, and project to the entire House and to the public at large regarding the work that has happened, the vision that we have, and how we will work towards moving towards that vision. While we do all of this, I have also tried to explain how the jobs will be created for our youngsters through the interventions that we have. And more importantly, while all these interventions and expenditures have been made in the past and will be made in the future, the misconception that this is being funded by loans is completely incorrect. And we have shown how these funds work and how the money comes in, and that maximum of the funding that has happened in the past and which will happen in the future is going to be funded by our own resources and not by loans and a different kind of debt that members are concerned about. It's a genuine concern, and I appreciate. I think it's important because it is a impulsive reaction where we look at numbers and say most probably it's from debt or from loan. And so my responsibility to clarify that, and I hope that through this reply I have been able to shed light on this entire issue of externally aided projects, entire issue of SASCI, and the entire issue of how our own state resources have gone up because of the work that we have done with the Finance Commission. So with these few clarifications and a few words, and I hope that I have been able to address some of the concerns of the members, I once again, sir, present this budget and for the approval and clearance of this August House.
Habatin, page bahagi kisab, kasab plus F.
Ka plus F?
Hakabam bangi bam dunaki eki batay kamet. Namar kata habat thiru atau khau kamlu ka umpnyang kadut pet ya ka sharp plus f haka jingsom. Yaki nutrient kumki vitamin bat ka ayan la icon diat bat ka bathau bha kam khta ai ka dur jingki mar bam ka jing mat lani ka rukom shed yaki.
Balehi banai kita.
Kadon ka we ka jing mentoy ba kongsan. Ka kot ka khia. Ka nutrition ba khambha ka jing im ba khambha pendon kam daki mar bam modon ka sharp plus f menta kasni.
Lawan Ra Shafi Lingba ko office jong Commissionerate of Food Safety Meghalaya.